great. Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
All right, great. That just loosen off a little bit. Okay, working in front of me. And taking it to side to side. Great, and do rotation. Great, open and close and look. Great, sticking to the head, we're going up and down into chest, up at the top. Left and right. This to the shoulder. Circles. Rolling up the neck. Back into the shoulders. And go forwards. Open out to the top. Change it now. To the sides. Stretching out the shoulders. The elbows. Change in direction. The wrists. But down. To the side. Great, in the chest front and back. Out to the sides. And circling. Rotating back with the elbows. Reaching out with the hands. Right, circling the hips. Change direction. Release. Change direction. Bend and straight. Stepping out, drop into the center. Fix a little bit. Hands onto the knees, looking over the shoulder. A bit wide, inside to side. Stretch out the back. Changing the leg. Changing again, dropping down, up into the front hip. Changing the leg. Bringing them back, stretching out through the shoulders. Up onto the toes, pressing up, and pressing through the heels. Good, walking the feet to the hands. Pressing the palms down. Right, and back, nice and slow. Just okay, we'll take it to a little bit of swinging, so shoulder width apart, raising to the top, swinging the whole way down. Great. Okay, working out the side, just let them swing across the front. Then the drop. Nice and heavy. Great, and then adding a twist into it, and the hip, the shoulder. Great, now just working the arms forward, swinging the front of that, changing the hips a little bit forward. Start to swing it up to the top of the head. Great, and you can take it into a full circle. Changing the direction. Okay, great. Shake out the wrist a little bit. We roll the arms down. And the legs. Great. Shaking the body. Great. Okay, perfect. We will do some poking. Great. Okay, we'll just go into the first Suburu. Just dropping through the cut. So just swinging through, drop the weight in. Nice and easy. Weight, nice heavy body. Let the arm just swing through. Okay, changing to the left side, working on the same thing, so drawing right to the back, swinging it down, and fit the movement again into the left side. Okay, great. And then just working with a Zengo. Just let it swing through. So just focusing on finding the ground. Release the cut. Focus on dropping the weight through into the ground. Okay, great. We'll play with number 2, but again, just keeping that kind of arc through. So raise up to the top, bring the sod up, and then again, stepping through, dropping the weight in. So we're just focusing on again the body. Up to the top, opening the hips out, and then through, drop into the ground. Just focus on placing the weight through the step. Let the arm just ground the body. Great, and then take it in like a number 4, so you step in each side. And again, just let it drop down, so really focusing on the weight entering the ground. So the ground, just about how you're placing the weight in. You step in. So relaxing the upper body. Okay, great. Start to bring the focus in lightly, but just mix in these cuts now. So you've got looking like number 1, work like a zenyo, rotation, work number 2, coming back, work like number 4, stepping in, kind of mix these up, cutting freely. Again, the weight down priority, and now try and add in the focus. Snap in as you sink in the weight. Snap into the focus. Sink, snap on. Sink, snap into the focus. That's working with the 𝒊𝒏𝒕𝒔. Okay, great. So we'll take this into your comment. So just work on the spot. Again, just let the sword swing through the arc. So now you want to open up the back here and let the sword take that diagonal path, but keeping the connection with the center. You don't want to start to kind of swing it out. It's a slightly different movement. So keep the sword, see, lined up with the center. Just let the hips open out. At the top, hips open out. Find the top of the head and then open that line out. Open it out. So just working on the spot to get the hips. Open up the cut. So. So. Yeah, so there's one exercise you can do here. Again, it's just dropping a little bit of control. So as you come to the cut, if you cut to this side, just release the left hand. Then just let that arm kind of drop down. So what you want to feel is that the arm's basically connected into the center. What you don't feel in this exercise is that the arm's kind of swinging out to the back and the sword's basically losing losing the center, it's basically working in this kind of area. So as you do it, just release the hand that's, keep the hand that's on the outside of the sword. The outside arm just stays on. And just feel that you, through that, with a little bit less control of the sword, try and link it into the center. But the key is to feel that connection into the arm. Go up. Release the control a little bit and try and find the kind of alignment with the sword. It's off. It's off. There. 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 That's it. That's it. Yeah. There we go. Yes. So look at the same idea now, but with the steps, so just explore left and right side. But again, let the cut kind of swing through. So the key thing with these ideas, these kind of swinging exercises, the body's creating the movement and the body's creating the power in the strike. So feel that you're delivering all the weight of the body into the ground through. And the sword, the arc of the sword just later transmitting that weight through. But the first thing is to get to kind of heavy drop of the weight in. So a little bit different than before that you're opening the hips up. Just a touch more. Yeah. And let the weight really settle down every time you cut. Yeah, no, just watch with this. If I'm a little bit too loose with the connection in the arm, this happens. The sword swings to the back and then it pulls the hip out to the back. And then the weight that I'm pressing forward is being split front and back. So I end up with a kind of split movement. So think in this case, just think about the hips as you go in. Think about both hips pressing in this way. So that the hip opens out a little bit more to the back. You want to avoid in this case the feeling that the hip's kind of pulling out of the movement at the back. So allow, in this case, both hips to sink in down. As you go in, sink it down. And just try and control the sword a little bit, but not as much as you need so that it doesn't kind of split out at the back. Okay, so the movement should just feel that it's sinking in, down. So the sword should just kind of bring down. Think the same way you got with the shonen, just drains down, drains down. In that kind of area. Just watch her extending out the back. Great, and then again, start to add the focus in and just explore different movements with it or different angles of the cut. So play with that forward motion, but also play with shifting it back and shift it over to the side. But just try and find each time now a 𝒂𝒄𝒂𝒿 𝒂𝒂𝒿. Again, making sure the hips are both engaging down and into the cut. Nice, that's nice. Great, so we'll just go to a really simple 𝒊𝒏𝒕 cut. So if you think about the attack you make with the 𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 a nice clear shomanuchi. Going for the head, strike it in. Gonna get the weight of the body sinking in through it. So a little bit more focus and cutting it through. You either stop at the head or feel it cut straight through the center. Yeah. Yeah, so we use this dynamic quite a lot in training. So you can think of this as an attack, kind of coming in with it. But the one that you can play with here, play with the grip like you would make in a fanhenka this way. So in more of a kinnagai way. So think about the weight of the body coming in and landing the grab this way. So what you want in the key with this is that the weight's being landed in the body through the grab. So you've got this idea that I don't want to do this. So it's the same thing with the sword, that the attack's not in the grip, the attack's in the body coming forward and trying to pin the person with the grip. So just play here. You can do left side or right side with this one. but think about bringing the body in, landing the weight through it. And as you squeeze the grip on, or as you would take the grab, let the weight drain down your stomach. So you have a really kind of heavy body at the end of it. So the idea is to find the attack, but to keep place the weight through it. With left side, right side. So super simple. You want the weight to be hanging down on the grip as you go. So it's less of a kind of push in kind of attack. It's more I'm trying to get a contact, track the person, which will give you other attacks. Use that same feeling you got with the Vulcan. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Great, and then if you just go back into the Vulcan, so just working with the curve. The main thing to feel is the weight down and then the body goes in, strike into it. Yeah, that feeling of entering the weight through the tip of the sword. And the weight, curve the body in. Okay, great. So we'll play with the movement that you find in the third Kumitachi, which is from the defending side. This idea of snapping over the center line and then striking through. So you're breaking the contact with your partner and striking through to the head this way. This is your intention with this one. So just play with this move. It's the same idea, landing weight, but a little bit more subtle. So you've got the weight of the body coming through the sword. You're parrying the sword away. And then you're coming through with it. Just play with this in 2 moves to start. We'll put it into 1, but the first thing is get this idea of the weight entering the tip. Yeah, taking the center line, but keeping in mind the sword. So you want the sword to stay locked into your own center line. You're trying to break the person's contact away, striking and open. So.
Michael?
Yeah, sure.
First movement, front facing the camera.
Yeah.
Line.
So you got that. You do that. That. And then basically from that, if it's separate, and then from here you're going to basically pull the sword in as you come in. So you've got that, and then coming in. And then later it's going to just snap back in that way. Into that way. Yeah. 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 The main thing with this is that the arms aren't pulling out of the center. So if you, as soon as you get that, you know I'm basically coming out to the center line. So getting the fingers, hips dropping it. And as much as possible, keeping like I think about the tip as the kind of thread, keeping the tip basically facing forward, or as much as possible, so that it stays in that kind of line. As soon as the tip's leaving the person, I'm kind of starting to drift down. Great, and then just play with it in one. So keep, as long as the center's connecting to the sword, but this coming in. So the key is how you basically you're coming in, this, and then pressing from the back foot directly. So most of the movements coming from that back hip, starting in. Keep that weight focusing down, and then just press it forwards. So the back hip opens, back hip presses in. That. At the same time, you want an effective movement at the beginning. So nice. Great. So we'll do another one from here. So in this case, you're in this position. You're going to drop the sword down in this one. Drop all the way down, drop, open the guard. You can use this in two ways. If the person basically stays put and stays in this position, I use this movement basically just to press the sword out of the way and then strike in. The other way you can use this is if they make a strike to the head, I can use this movement to basically block it out of the way and then cut down. But anyway, the movement's like this: you drop down, you're going to arc up with the weapon, spiral up to the top, and then cut in this way. So you drop lower the sword. The sword now is going to swing up and in an arc up to the top, and then from here, press in, find the cut. So this in two or three moves dropping down first. Then you find the ground, open the body up, you swing the sword in up to the top, and then drop in, apply the hip. Drain the feeling down. In, and drop down.
You do that straight facing the camera?
Yeah.
Got that before, mate.
Oh. This one takes a little bit of an angle, so you go here, this way, and then from here, cutting in that way. Very, very slight, but you've got this arc now. Okay, you're trying to connect the center into it, so it passes through. Yeah. Yes, this is a tricky one. So you need to basically keep the weight low in the structure. So what's happening a little bit as we swing it up, this happens. The arm's kind of swinging it, and then the weight comes into the arm. And if I speed this up, it goes like that. So the shoulders kind of split out of the movement. So think about as you come in, sinking down. So that again, the weight in that movement is going to come from the center dropping down. In the same way, this snapping movement, the power on it's the weight dropping down to the ground. So if you think about that movement that you've got in number 3, that same kind of feeling here, but you'll find in that weight in that movement as well. It's a trickier movement, obviously, but just think about all the weight down here. You're actually in a good position because the sword's low, but the tendency is to go into the arms to raise it. So think about sinking to raise it, and you get press it in this way. That's the last few. It's a tricky one because the sword's swinging up as you're trying to place weight into the bottom.
Michael?
Yeah.
Are you getting underneath, you're actually positioning your body underneath the sword so that you can catch the other person's sword?
Yeah. So in this, if it will either serve as it will serve if they're here, that in the arc it will basically knock the sword out, or if they're coming in with a strike and looking to meet it down and then take it away this way. So I'm looking in that moment, to basically be pressing it out this way. So it's that. Yeah. But the kid said it's going to work in a spot. What I don't want to do in this one is like that, where it swings out. So I'm trying to keep it locked to the center, but the tip of the sword's going to take it that way. And then spiral back in. Yeah. Just the last few, play with this, see if you can make this one movement. So you drop down, you swing in, cut in this way. So this is a bit like a wedge in movement. So it's a spiral, but it's like a wedge in with the hip this way. You go straight through either straight through the person's guard, or you try and meet the sword on the way down and cut into the head. So as they're coming in, you meet it, take it out. That's yeah. Okay, great. We'll finish. Very good. Good. Great. どうもありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございました。
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.